This Sunday, we celebrate the 110th World Day of Migrants and Refugees. On the front page of this week's Herald, we have a summary of the Holy Father's message. The theme chosen by Pope Francis is God Walks with His People, which reflects the Catholic Church's synodal identity. The Pope emphasized that by walking alongside migrants, the Church rediscovers its role as a community that journeys together toward the kingdom of heaven. The Holy Father invites Catholics to be ready with practical charity, extending a hand to those in need. Meanwhile, next week, the second session of the Synod on Synodality kicks off in Rome. Here's a brief preview.
The second part of the 16th Ordinary General Assembly of the Synod of Bishops will be held in Rome from October 2nd to 27th. There have been a few changes with regards to the participants and methodology. This includes Archbishop Julian Liao, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, replacing Cardinal William Goh of Singapore. He will be joined by Father Dr. Clarence Davidas and Anna Teresa Peter Amandis from Malaysia, who are voting members for the Synod. Professor Christina Keng, a Singaporean layperson, will be at the Synod as an expert and facilitator. Also, the number of fraternal delegates, representatives of non-Catholic Christian faiths, has increased from 12 to 16 at the request of Pope Francis. Organisers say there will also be more pauses for prayer and reflection, which includes a retreat day on October 21st, to allow members to spiritually prepare for the presentation of the draft of the Synod's final document, which they will be called to provide feedback for before voting on the document's final content. Let us keep all the participants in prayer throughout the Assembly.
Read more on page 10 of the Herald. Not too long ago, the Canossians around the globe celebrated the 250th anniversary of the birth of their foundress. We take a look at the celebration here in Malaysia. The Church of St Aloysius hosted the 250th anniversary celebration of the birth of St Magdalene of Canossa on September 15th, themed Set Life on Fire. The main celebrant was Cardinal Sebastian Francis, joined by concelebrants Archbishop Julian Liao, Parish Priest Monsignor Peter Ng, and Assistant Parish Priest Father William Pillay. In his homily, the Cardinal emphasized the decades of humble work carried out behind the scenes for the least, the lost, the little, and the lowly. The early missionaries brought the message of the joy of the gospel, along with the charism of St. Magdalene, to the shores of Malaya and Singapore. Today, the sisters continue their mission in Jinjang, Kuala Lumpur, Sungai Siput, Perak, Melaka, and Kluang, Johor. St. Magdalene was canonized in 1988 following her founding of the congregations of the Canossian Sisters and the Canossian Fathers in the early 19th century. Despite the many challenges and constraints in today's world, the sisters remain called to make Jesus known and loved. As St. Magdalene reminded Canossian sisters and fathers, Jesus is not loved because He's not known. The full story is on page 5 of the Herald. Over in Melaka, we witnessed the pilgrimage of faith and gratitude at the Holy Cross Feast.
The annual feast of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross at the Santa Cruz Chapel in Marlim Hill was held from September 11th to 15th this year. The feast's highlight was the daily veneration of the Holy Cross, which saw pilgrims arriving from across the region, forming long queues to enter the chapel, light candles, and venerate the cross. A special Mass was celebrated on September 16th for pilgrims, with a focus on the elderly and physically challenged, giving them an opportunity to participate in the veneration. Many pilgrims carried crosses provided by the chapel as they participated in the Stations of the Cross. On September 14th, the congregation gathered for Mass celebrated by Bishop Bernard Paul. In his homily, Bishop Bernard Paul emphasized the significance of the cross in Christian life, calling it a bridge between heaven and earth. He said, "When Jesus stretched out his arms on the cross, he connected us with God and each other." The bishop also urged the faithful to seek solace in the cross during difficult times. His grace added, "Ask not why, but how to continue." The Feast of the Holy Cross at Santa Cruz Chapel is not just a celebration, but a reminder of the enduring power of faith, hope, and unity.
Briefly, Church of the Holy Name of Mary in Permatang Tinggi celebrated its feast day this month. Church of St Aloysius in Mantin, Negeri Sembilan hosted its inaugural Harmony in Mantin event. Kids from the Church of the Good Shepherd in Setapa attended a preparation camp for First Holy Communion. And we read about the 6th Sabah Youth Day, which was attended by over 3,200 young Catholics from the archdioceses and dioceses in the state. All this and more in this week's issue of the Herald. Get your copy at your parish this weekend.